stared straight into Lee Hyung-sung and Han Myung-o's eyes and said, "Do you want to die from that guy behind the iron door, or do you want to try your luck outside? Which will you choose?" Dokja, is there any guarantee that the person beyond the iron door is an enemy? The steel sword appeared at a crucial moment. There was a reason why Lee Hyung-sung couldn't be the leader of a party. Since they're coming from another carriage, it is most likely a survivor. If we meet, I looked at the bloody room instead of continuing. Lee Hyung-sung followed my gaze and quietly spoke. "I was too careless. Let's find a way out." Go quickly!" At this moment, both people were aware. The other survivors of the carriages would have gone through the same thing as them. They wouldn't have had the good luck of finding insects. "This is broken! Damn, we can't go out this way!" While listening to Lee Hyung-sung and Han Myung-o's cries, I also checked the doors. There were no more barriers, so the doors could now be touched. Apart from the doors connecting to the passageways, there were a total of 8 access doors on the subway. There were 3 exits that hadn't been confirmed yet. The iron doors seemed like it could barely hold on for 1 minute. Despite being the main character, I didn't think he would have such high strength in the beginning. I was honestly surprised that he could break through such a thick iron door. "Dokja, here!" I found a working manual switchgear. "No!" The opening and closing device worked smoothly, but the door didn't open at once. The door opened about 1/5 before stopping like it was jammed. "It seems to be broken here as well. How about other places? It seems to be only one place we can escape." It was unknown for a child, but the gap was too narrow for men and women to escape. Han Myung-o and Lee Hyung-sung tried to pull the doors open, but they couldn't move it a bit. Coins possess, 4,700. One of the uses of coins was to raise overall stats. I already used 2,700 coins to make my stamina level 10. This problem could be resolved if I used the remaining coins to enhance my strength, but it wasn't wise to use the coins when the situation was unknown. In the end, there was only one way. "Lee Hyung-sung, use a skill." "Huh? Skill?" I quietly activated character list. The exclusive skill character list is activated. Character information. Name, Lee Hyung-sung. Age, 28 years old. Constellation sponsor, Master of Steel. Private attribute. Soldier who turned a blind eye to injustice. General. Exclusive skills. Bayonet skills level 2. Camouflage level 2. Patience level 2. Stigma. Great Mountain Push level 1. Overall stats. Stamina level 8. Strength level 8. Agility level 7. Magic power level 5. Overall evaluation. The overall stats are very good. Despite turning away from injustice, he received the choice of a constellation. There is another opportunity for him. Lee Hyung-sung's information came to my mind without any restrictions. Fortunately, the sponsor was the same as what I read in Ways of Survival. You should have checked it when you opened the attributes window. Lee Hyung-sung is a soldier, so there must be a skill you can use in this situation. Well, I have one, but how do I use it? Just think about using the skill. Will that work? It will. I did it earlier. Lee Hyung-sung didn't say anything else as he took a deep breath of determination. Lee Hyung-sung's biceps swelled as he grabbed the door. It was the appearance of Great Mountain Push. In fact, Great Mountain Push wasn't a skill, but a stigma, and a stigma was a power from a constellation. I used the word skill in order to avoid his suspicions. There was a sound like a huge spring turning, and the door started to move. What? This guy has real strength! That's it. It's really great. The character Lee Hyung-sung has started to trust you. Your understanding of the character Lee Hyung-sung has increased. Rather than doubts, my reliability had risen. Lee Hyung-sung was a simpler person than I thought. Come on, let's get off. I felt relieved. I handed Lee Gil-young to Lee Hyung-sung. Lee Hyung-sung, carry the child on your back. I understand. Now the iron door was almost broken, but if my prediction was right, the problem right now wasn't the iron door. This is really... I knew this would happen. Didn't I say it earlier? I told you not to go anywhere. Damn, the scenario isn't ready yet. The Dokja seemed angry as it floated over Dongho Bridge. I knew this would happen. I told you not to come out. Han Myung-o wrapped her hand around his head, like he thought he would explode, but there was no need to worry. It can't be helped. You really are lucky humans. It was because the second scenario started the moment the train door was opened. The second scenario has arrived. Second scenario. Escape. Category Sub. Difficulty E. Clear conditions. Cross the broken bridge and enter Oksu Station. Time limit 20 minutes. Compensation 200 coins. Failure unknown. Dokja, something is strange. It says the broken bridge, but the bridge is still... Don't worry and just run. Quickly. Understood. In fact, Yu Sung-ah was right. The bridge hadn't been broken yet. In other words, the bridge was going to be broken. Dokja, come quickly. I'm coming. It hadn't been broken yet because we had got off the train too soon. The Dokja said the preparation time was 10 minutes, but we escaped 3 minutes earlier. Some people might call it cowardly, but this scenario couldn't be cleared without such a shortcut, especially if I was stuck with such a burden as Yu Sung-ah and Lee Gil-young. Indeed, Lee Hyung-sung is a soldier and has high stamina. Don't open your mouth, you'll lose some strength. Lee Hyung-sung was running first with the kid. He was a natural monster who didn't invest any coins into his stats, yet the sum of his strength, stamina, and agility exceeded 23. The next was Hang Myung-oh, and then Yu Sang-ah with me in the rear. It could be close, but I thought we could make it in time. Oh, what is that? At this time, Hang Myung-oh's scream was heard. There was a huge whirlpool in the center of the Han River, letting out splashes of water, and a giant monster was at the center of the splashes. An ichthyosaur. The problem was that the ichthyosaur seemed to be twice the size of the one I saw through the window. This wasn't a sea serpent, it was a sea commander. A general sea serpent was only a grade 7 monster. Given that a grade 9 monster was difficult for normal humans to cope with, an average human would be torn apart by a grade 7 monster. In other words, the guy coming now wasn't a monster to be caught in the early stages. Of course, there wasn't a need to catch it. It wasn't created to be caught. The Han River surged like there was a tsunami, and the ichthyosaur moved. It was chewing on the legs of the bridge. The bridge is breaking! Run! If we could run, then we could cross it. The remaining distance was about 200 meters. If my calculations were correct, we could cross before the bridge collapsed at our current speed. There's no fun if the game's too easy. Of course, this was the case when there were no variables. The scenario difficulty has been adjusted. Scenario difficulty E to D. The sound of the Tokibi's laughter was heard. Is there any fun if you just run away? Let's create a bit of an atmosphere. The evil thoughts of the dead have returned. The surrounding earth is filled with black ether. The demonic people have woken up. There was the sound of something chasing us from behind. Yu Sang-ah muttered to herself, Zombies? Zombie-like bodies were coming in huge waves. Some of them were people from the same carriage as us. We need to go further. Quickly! The distance to the ichthyosaur was now less than 100 meters. Fortunately, Lee Hyung-sung carried Lee Gil-young and had crossed the safety line. The problem was the rest of us, including me. Hang Myung-oh shrieked, You bastards! There were too many demonic people. If there were only corpses from the subway, we might have gotten away. The problem was... Grrr! The drivers who died on the bridge became demonic people. The path that Lee Hyung-sung broke through was covered with demonic people. I looked between the demonic people on the road and the approaching ichthyosaur. Everybody get down. It was too late. The legs of the bridge shook tremendously as the ichthyosaur's huge mouth bit into it. The scales of the ichthyosaur shone through the dust that poured down onto Han River like rain. A fishy smell of blood and water filled the area. I staggered and raised my body. Once the dust went away, the scenery around me was clear. Piles of shattered concrete and cut steel, the carcasses of the demonic people which the ichthyosaur had cleanly bitten through. The broken leg of the bridge. Yu Sang-ah and Hang Myung-oh raised their bodies from a little further away. One of Hang Myung-oh's legs seemed injured and uncomfortable from the previous quake. Lee Hyung-sung and Lee Gil-young cried out from across the bridge, but their voices seemed blocked by the safety zone. What should I do? I made plans on the basis of the bridge breaking, but I hadn't expected Hang Myung-oh and Yu Sang-ah to be with me. At that moment, a voice was heard in the air. Someone has received the favor of a constellation. The constellation scenario, Deus Ex Machina, has been activated. Along with a voice, a brilliant bridge made of light was created among the remnants of the broken Dongho Bridge. Then a message floated in front of me. Deus Ex Machina, even bridge. Description. A bridge of light made by a constellation. Only an even number of people can cross the bridge. The bridge will disappear as soon as an odd number of people tries to cross it. Dokja, this, in my head, suddenly... I met the eyes of a Yu Sang-ah who was talking nonsense. I could roughly guess what the situation was. Deus Ex Machina. Constellations risk a huge loss by interfering in scenarios. It's Yu Sang-ah Shi's sponsor. I didn't know what constellation it was, but someone had chosen Yu Sang-ah as their incarnation and wanted her to live. Deus Ex Machina was a rare phenomenon in ways of survival, and Yu Sang-ah was a person who should have already died. I had a moment of doubt. What type of constellation was behind Yu Sang-ah? The information of this person can't be read in character list. This person isn't registered in character list. I was a bit surprised. I couldn't see her with my skill. Why? Did she have some special background? Or did she have a mental barrier? But if she had something like that from the beginning... No, wait a minute. Perhaps this was... Dokja, what should we do now? I heard Yu Sang-ah's bewildered voice. I didn't have much time to think. The Han River was swirling. The ichthyosaur had bitten one bridge leg, and it was turning its huge body around the other side of the Han River. I bit my lips and once again read the explanation of the bridge. Only an even number of people could cross the bridge. In the end, Deus Ex Machina was a toy made by the damned constellations who loved tragedies. There was no way for everyone to survive. Hang Myung-oh's body was shaking as his eyes met mine. In the end, somebody must die.